Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5. So let's call out to Bhagwan Shri Krishna and let's read the text. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please remove the pride in my heart right from the root. Please remove the pride in my heart. There is so much pride and there is so much wastage of time where I'm. Please help me feel that love and shelter from you in such a deep way that I'm not looking for it outside. I'm looking for it in other things that I'm doing. I'm watching Facebook reels, I'm doing all kinds of other things. Please help me remove all of that desire to search for whatever it is that I'm searching for true love from anywhere else, because it's not going to be found anywhere else. I know that, but I'm still finding myself not being able to have faith in you, full faith in you, that you are where I can find it. So I'm still finding myself doing other things instead of spending all of my time in bhajan. So please help me spend all of my time in bhajan with an intensity and with a fervor that yeah that where I have this complete full faith that it is only you where I can find what I'm looking for, and nowhere in the material world will I be able to find it. So I just stop wasting my time. Okay, so let's um, read the text. Chapter 5, The Cause of All Causes. Text 1. Sri Narad Muni asked Brahmaji, O chief amongst demigods, O firstborn living entity, I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Please tell me that transcendental knowledge which specifically directs one to the truth of the individual soul and the supersoul. So in the previous chapter, Maharaj Parikshit had asked Shukdev Goswami the origin of the earth, and then the whole chapter was about doing obeisances. Shukdev Goswami doing obeisances to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, and now he is answering that question because Narad Muni had asked Brahmaji this question, so then he is answering this question from there. 2. My dear father, please describe factually the symptoms of this manifest world. What is its background? How is it created? How is it conserved? And under whose control is all this being done? 3. My dear father, all this is known to you scientifically because whatever was created in the past, whatever will be created in the future, or whatever is being created at present, as well as everything within the universe, is within your grip just like a walnut. 4. My dear father, what is the source of your knowledge? Under whose protection are you standing? Under whom are you working? What is your real position? Do you alone create all entities with material elements by your personal energy? 5. As the spider very easily creates a network of its cobweb and manifests its power of creation without being defeated by others, so you yourself, by employment of your self-sufficient energy, create without any other's help. 6. Whatever we can understand by the nomenclature, characteristics, and features of a particular thing, superior, inferior, or equal, eternal or temporary, is not created from any source other than your lordship, that thou is so great. 7. Yet we are moved to wonder about the existence of someone more powerful than you when we think of your great austerities and perfect discipline, although your good self is so powerful in the matter of creation. My dear father, you know everything and you are the controller of all. Therefore, may all that I have inquired from you be kindly instructed to me, so that I may be able to understand it as your student. 9. Lord Brahma said, My dear boy Narad, being merciful to all, including one, you have asked all these questions before because I have been inspired to see into the prowess of Bhagwan. I'm seeing Bhagwan instead of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Almighty Personality of Godhead, because it's very much a tongue twister, so I'm just going to say Bhagwan. 10. Whatever you have spoken about me is not false, because unless one is aware of God, who is the ultimate truth beyond me, one is sure to be illusioned by observing by my powerful activity. So he's saying it's not me. You have to know God, who is the ultimate truth. You have to know Bhagwan, because otherwise you'll be illusioned by seeing my activities, but it's not me. 11. I create after the Lord's creation by his personal effulgence, known as Brahmajyoti, just as when the sun manifests its fire, the moon, the firmament, the influential planets, and the twinkling stars also manifest their brightness. 12. I offer my obeisances and meditate upon Bhagwan Shri Krishna, whose invincible potency influences them, the less intelligent class of men, to call me the supreme controller. So people who are not very intelligent think that Brahmaji is the supreme controller, but he offers his obeisances and meditates upon Bhagwan Shri Krishna. 13. The illusory energy of the Lord cannot take precedence, being ashamed of her position. Maya, is it? But those who are bewildered by her talk, not by her, always talk nonsense, being absorbed in thoughts of it is I, it is mine. 14. The five elementary ingredients of creation, the interaction thereof set up by eternal time, and the intuition or nature of the individual living beings are all differentiated parts and parcels of Bhagwan Vasudev, and in truth there is no other value in them. 15. The Vedic literatures are made by and meant for the Supreme Lord. The demigods are also meant for serving the Lord as parts of his body, and the different planets are also meant for the sake of the Lord. The different sacrifices are performed just to please him. So the sacrifices that are there in the Vedic scriptures to please the demigods, if we just do our Mahamantra Sankirtan Yagya, then we are doing, it's as if we are doing those yagyas as well, because we're watering the root, which is Bhagwan, directly. We don't need to go to the demigods. We're being satisfied by all of that. The demigods are satisfied if we are going directly to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. 16. All different types of meditation or mysticism are meant for realizing Narayan. All austerities are aimed at achieving Narayan. Culture of transcendental knowledge is for getting a glimpse of Narayan, and ultimately salvation is entering the kingdom of Narayan. 17. Inspired by him only, I discover what is already created by him, Narayan, under his vision and the all pervading supersoul, and I'm also created by him only. So he's talking about how now he's coming. So this is very, very clear for anyone who is Brahmaji Bhakt. This is a very clear thing. Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 2, canto 2, verse 5, text 17, right? I am created by him only, 16 and 17. 18. The Supreme Lord is pure, spiritual form, transcendental to all material qualities, yet for the sakes of creation of the material world and its maintenance and annihilation, he accepts through his external energy the material modes of nature called goodness, passion, and ignorance. So Bhagwan is pure, but he creates these three material modes. 19. These three modes of material nature, being further manifested as matter, knowledge, and activities, put the eternally transcendental living entity under conditions of cause and effect and make him responsible for such activities. 20. O Brahmana Narad, the superseer, the transcendent Lord, is beyond the perception of the material senses of the living entities because of the above mentioned three modes of nature. But he is the controller of everyone, including me. So we're not able to perceive through our material senses because we are bound by these material nature modes. But he is the controller of everything. I'm loving reading this. I'm so happy. 21. The Lord, who is the controller of all energies, thus creates by his own potency, eternal time, the fate of all living entities and their particular nature for which they were created, and he again merges them independently. Okay, so he creates time, he creates the fate, destiny based on our karma, he creates our nature, and he merges them independently. I don't know what the merging means. 22. After the incarnation of the first Purush, Karna Dakshay Vishnu, the Mahat Tattva or the principles of material creation take place, and then time is manifested, and in course of time the three qualities appear. Nature means three qualitative appearances. They transform into activities. 23. Material activities are caused by Mahat Tattvas being agitated. At first, this transformation of modes of goodness, passion, and later, due to mode of ignorance, matter, its knowledge, and different activities of material knowledge come into play. 24. The self-centered materialistic ego, thus being transformed into three features, becomes known as modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance in three divisions, namely the powers that evolve matter, knowledge of material creations, and the intelligence that guides such materialistic activities. Narad, you are quite competent to understand this. So basically, there is this cosmology lecture series from by Amritanand Prabhu, who lives in Seattle, that I absolutely loved. I've listened to it twice now, his lecture series, and I've still forgotten everything because there are so many names and so it's so complicated. But I think he's not touching into that right now. Um, 25, from the darkness of false ego. So, but this is not something I can explain through this. I mean, I would should put the links of those lecture series, and you can listen to them. It's very, very detailed. So I'm just going to read through it, but I'll put the links at some point. Right now, I have to still create the description, which I've not created yet. But once I do that, I'll put the links as well. So you can listen to that. It's amazing. 25. From the darkness of false ego, the first of the five elements, namely the sky, is generated. Its subtle form is the quality of sound, exactly as the seer is in relationship with the seen. 26 to 29. Because the sky is transformed, the air is generated with the quality of touch, and by previous succession to air, is also full of sound and basic principles of duration of life, sense perception, mental power, and bodily strength. When the air is transformed in course of time and nature's course, fire is generated, taking shape with the sense of touch and sound. Since fire is also transformed, there is manifestation of water full of juice and taste. As previously, it is form and touch and also is full of sound. And water, being transformed from all variegatedness on earth, appears odorous and, as previously, becomes qualitatively full of juice, touch, sound, and form, respectively. This went totally over my head. I have no idea what this means. Okay. But sound is also full of sound. Sound is important. I'm going to pass. 30. From the modes of goodness, the mind is generated and becomes manifest, and also the 10 demigods controlling the bodily movements. And as also the 10. Okay, so from the mode of goodness, mind is generated and the 10 demigods. Such demigods are known as the controller of directions, controller of air, sun god, father of Daksha Prajapati, Ashwini Kumaras, father fire god, king of heaven, worshipable deity in heaven, chief of Adityas, Brahmaji, Prajapati, all come into existence. 31. By further transformation of the mode of passion, the sense organs like the ear, nose, skin, eyes, tongue, mouth, hands, genitals, legs, and outlet for evacuating, together with intelligence and living energy, are all created. Mode of passion creates all of these things. 32. O Narad, best of all transcendentalists, the forms of the body cannot take place as long as these created parts, namely the elements, the senses, minds, modes of material nature, are not assembled. 33. Thus, when all these become assembled by force of the energy of the Supreme God, this universe certainly came into being by accepting both the primary and secondary causes of creation. 34. Thus all universes remained thousands of eons within the water, the causal ocean, and the Lord of living beings entering into each of them caused them to be fully animated. 35. The Lord Mahavishnu, although lying in the causal ocean, came out of it, and dividing himself as Hiranyagarbha, he entered into each universe and assumed the Virat Roop with thousands of legs, arms, mouths, heads, etc. This is the Virat Roop. 36. Great philosophers imagine that the complete planetary systems and in the universe are displays of upper and lower limbs of the universal body of the Lord. But there are so many, I don't understand this because there are so many in unlimited universes. So are all universes his upper limb, or is one universe his upper limb? This Virat Roop, is it for each universe separately, or is it a single Virat Roop and all universes are there? 37. The Brahmanas represent his mouth, the Kshatriyas his arms, the Vaishyas his thighs, and the Shudras are born of his legs. They've explained this earlier as well. 38. The lower planetary systems up to the limit of the earthly stratum are said to be situated in his legs. So Earth also is legs. The middle planetary system, beginning from Bhur-lok, are situated in his navel, and the still higher planetary systems, um, uh, occupied by demigods and highly cultured sages and saints, are situated in the chest of Bhagwan. 39. From the forefront of the chest up to the neck of the universal form of the Lord are situated the planetary systems named Janaloka and Tapaloka, where Satyalok, the topmost system, is situated on the head of the form. The spiritual planets, however, are eternal. 40 to 41. My dear Narad, son Narad, know from me that there are 7 lower planetary systems out of the total 14. The first planetary system, known as Atal, is situated on the waist. The second, Vital, is situated on the thighs. Third, Sutal, knees. Fourth, Talatal, shanks. Fifth, Mahatal, ankles. Sixth, Rasatal, upper portion of feet. 7, Patal, on the soles of the feet. Thus, the Virat form of the Lord is full of all planetary systems. 42. Others may divide the whole planetary systems into 3 divisions, namely the lower planetary systems up to on the legs up to the earth, middle planetary system on the navel, and upper planetary system Swarlok from the chest to the head of the Supreme Personality. Okay, this was very, very technical, and I think having a deeper study of this from somebody who has really studied the entire Bhagavatam and has really created this lecture series, that would make a lot more sense than just reading the text from here. Here we can just get a very brief overview of what is there, but what it means we'll figure out separately. Okay, wish you all a very beautiful day, and lots of spiritual growth and lots of Krishna Bhagwan's mercy. Radhe Radhe.